Welcome back, friends, to another episode of the Zephcast, the show where we get to know your favorite content creators, streamers, and podcasters alike. I am your host, ZephyrsXP, and with me today, we got Twitch streamer, leader of the Manta Bay, and my kick-ass friend, the awesome DecoyManta on the show. Thank you so much for being here today, Decoy. How's your day going so far?
Good. Day's going pretty good so far. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Kind of waking up, got my coffee, got some awesome friends. Yeah. I'm super excited.
Nice and early for you.
Right, nice and early. Yeah, do you usually stream more towards the nighttime, right?
Yeah, so right now it's about 9 o'clock in the evening for me. This is after work. This is normally the time I stream, but because of the time difference, I'm a super early morning streamer, it turns out.
Right. You usually stream like bright early. I think you're still live kind of like as I'm usually getting up, ready to get everything going. So yeah, time zones are fun.
Oh, the best. Yeah.
Right. Do you usually find like in the morning you have more oomph to kind of stream, whereas like evening times you're just kind of dead and tired?
No, not really. I'm much more of a night owl. As the sun goes down, all of my energy comes up. It's a problem.
Nice. I've thought about like trying to stream at night times a little bit, but like every time 7 p.m., 8 p.m. comes out, I'm just like already dead tired. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine going live and having some oomph to be able, you know.
Oh God, yeah, I know. Sometimes it depends on the day. Yeah. Some days are better than others for sure.
Every day's a little bit different. So first off, I always love to start the podcast with an icebreaker question, something a little bit fun. Do you think you're ready to dive into it, Decoy?
I think so.
All right. I got a really good one today for you. If given the ability, would you rather travel back in time to meet your ancestors or travel to the future to meet your descendants?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think for me personally, I would go back in time. I like the idea of the future kind of being a bit unknowable. Yeah. That it's unpredictable, that there's still like all this possibility. It would bum me out if I went there and I saw that maybe I'd made some terrible mistakes.
Right. The Earth's like split in
a weird place. But I also have a lot of love for history. So I think going back and seeing what kind of connection I had to the past would be really interesting.
That would be really, really cool. I almost think if you kind of think about it, knowing what we know nowadays, if we went back in the past, we would almost be like a god figure, or like so knowing, or so already have all this future insight for everything. But if we went to the future, we'd be almost like bumbling around like, what is going on? Everything is so different, you know?
That's true. We would be prehistoric. Right? So out of touch.
Why is everything flying? What are these lightsabers? What is going on? Exactly.
What are these lightsabers?
Everybody's just walking around with lightsaber like it's nothing.
That's definitely on the cards. That's a technology that has to happen. We've guaranteed it through culture.
Have you seen those YouTube? There's like YouTube videos of people who have made like plasma laser.
Oh, like
swords.
The legitimate ones.
Yeah, with like the backpacks on.
Those.
Those are crazy.
It's wild. It's so cool.
Right. If only they can deflect blaster beams and stuff.
One day we'll get there.
Hopefully. First real question though of the podcast for you, my friend. Who is DecoyManta, the streamer, and the person behind the streamer?
Okay, well, I'm DecoyManta. I'm from the UK, and I came to Thailand a while ago. That's where I live, and that's where I stream from. I started streaming like pre-pandemic, but then really got into it properly during lockdown and stuff. So I think initially I kind of wanted my streams to be a way to just communicate with people and share passions for similar things, like the type of games that I really like. It'd be really cool just to talk with other people who share the same interests and get different perspectives, that kind of thing. That's something I really enjoy, and streaming has been a great way to do that, and it just kind of went from there.
Do you feel like it's almost become almost like a creative outlet, an escapism in a way?
It really has. I had no expectations going in. So the way that it's sort of opened up and I can see the possibility on the platform, and also like the people I've met, it's wild. I'm constantly impressed by Twitch and the way it is and where I found myself.
I've almost felt with a lot of people I've talked to with streaming, it almost becomes this another person, like this other part of their brain. Like they kind of check off from, you know, IRL life, work life, sit down, and then become almost this like transformative different person. Do you kind of feel that a little bit when you press the go live button, you stream, and you kind of escape from the IRL world and become streamer DecoyManta?
Oh, for sure. But at the same time, not really, because I feel like the personality I have on stream is not too different from the personality I have off stream. But it's certainly, I'm a lot more energetic. As soon as I get people I recognize or new people in, it's just each person in is a boost of energy. It just puts me in this really great mindset to just engage. And so I think when you're there, a lot of your worries, a lot of the concerns just fade away, and then it's much easier to have fun.
I agree. It almost feels like Twitch starts off like if you're streaming at the very beginning when there's not a lot of people in your chat, or, you know, maybe nobody's in there. It almost feels like it gets easier as you stream, and not for the repetitiveness. You get used to it, the whole feel of it. But like as more and more people are in your chat and you have people to talk to, people that, you know, kind of ask you questions, you ask them questions, conversations roll. It's almost becomes easier and easier as time goes on. Do you think so?
It really does. Yeah, I completely agree. That was funny because when I'm not sure if you found the same thing. I would be interested to hear your perspective. When I first started streaming, I didn't know what I was doing. I would barely get anybody in to chat at all. And so most of it is just you trying to talk to yourself, you know, keep it entertaining just in case somebody drops in. And that is exhausting. Like just doing it by yourself, just like trying to keep a constant stream of consciousness while playing a game just in case. It just wore me out. But now if I stream and I get some regulars in and everyone's there, it's so easy. It's so much easier just to like do anything, just keep the stream going as long as possible, because it's so much more fun. It just takes the weight off so much.
I totally agree. When I first started, I kind of started in a way I would not recommend anybody else to start streaming, because like I didn't know anything about streaming on Twitch, and I wasn't involved in like any communities or other streamers. I literally was just like create an account, go live, and like that was it, not knowing anything about it. And it took me a long time to get, you know, like regular people kind of coming in, seeing people every single day that were the same, and kind of having some of those conversations. And for like the first month, literally was just talking to myself, 1 viewers. And the thing that's interesting with Twitch is a lot of times if it says, if you're looking at your view count and you see it go from 0 to 1, and then you're like, oh, somebody's watching me, hey, how you doing? They probably have already left in that time period.
Right, exactly.
Because it takes time.
By the time your counter switches over, it's like they're gone.
Right. So, and
it's too late.
If people just pop in and you're just kind of like zoned out, kind of doing your own thing, like dead silent, I mean, maybe they'll stay, maybe they will initiate chat, but like most often, most people don't do that. So having some kind of self-conversation, stream of consciousness, just spitting words out there and hoping someone's like, hey, I agree with that, or you make a good point. You know, those are hard to come by for sure.
That's definitely how it starts off for a lot of people. Do you still, out of interest, do you still have anybody who you met in those early days who's still in your channel today?
Oh, I think your camera might be good. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. It's kind of flickering a little. Sorry, what was the question? Like from OG, like way back in the day, still hang out?
Way back, 0 to 1 viewers. Do you have anyone who stuck with you? Still there?
My friend Cage Shinigami, I believe. Cage still pops in occasionally. Cage was like the very, not first, but like second person I started talking to on Twitch, and he still pops in occasionally. I think that's awesome. My first 10 followers were my buddy My Name is Porto and Cranberry Pudding. I don't know if you know either of them. Yeah, but you did podcasts with them too. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and both of them were absolutely phenomenal. Both of them great friends. They They like know a lot of things in terms of like streaming, and really interesting historical conversations we've had, philosophical questions we've had, and it was, yeah, it was pretty cool to kind of go as time has gone on. Some people have fallen off from streaming, which is totally fine because life happens. Everybody has a different situation. But the people that have stuck around, that are still streaming, it's cool to touch up with them and be like, hey, just catch up. How's life been? All of that. Do you have
Definitely
people like similar like that? Like you started streaming, first couple viewers, and they still hang around?
When I first began, that was such a mess that I took a hiatus. I think I first started streaming 2019.
Yeah.
And then I took a really long break because I was like, I have no clue. I don't know. When I got back into it, a couple of the people who I met then are still, still some of them still around. Not a huge amount, but it's so nice that they would. It's so cool to catch up with them and see their channels grow as well, those who are streamers.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's almost like we're rivals, I guess. We're all doing the same thing, but it's like friendly competition.
Right.
Seeing everyone grow, it's so neat.
Right. I totally agree. Just seeing like people that you kind of came up with, and not competitive in like a negative sort, but just kind of like friendly nudges, right? Friendly nudges.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did see some old clips of yours all the way back from 2019. So when I saw that, I was like, has he really been streaming since 2019? No face cam.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you're playing, what was it, Tales of Bersaria maybe, or might have been
it was Vesperia.
That was it. Yeah, one of your clips has like 500 views. It has a ton of views on
that
it.
That was wild. That was so weird because streaming, had no idea what I was doing. After a stream with barely any viewers, I decided, like, you know what, this bit was kind of funny to me. I'm gonna clip that for me.
Yeah.
So I made my own clip of it, and it ended up getting 500 views within
randomly
like a month or something. It popped off, and I don't know why. But the funny thing is, it did not translate to followers. Like nobody came to check out the channel. Everyone watched the clip. So strange.
I've always felt like with Twitch, like the clips, I don't know, the clips are really cool in the sense that it gives you like a little brief memory of a situation, but after that I feel like Twitch doesn't have much of an algorithm to like feed those clips to anybody. So kind of like VODs, they kind of just get lost in this void unless people are actively searching for it. So I feel like it'd be cool if they did something similar to YouTube, where maybe there was like a live streaming side, and then maybe there was also a clip side with like an algorithm kind of feed. I feel like that could get pushed in almost like maybe too much of like a TikTok kind of thing, which might not be good, but like, I don't know, I feel like clips get so lost in the void. It'd be cool if there was a way to just Twitch feed them out to people a little bit better, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think discoverability, a way to, I don't know what it could translate into, that they could somehow create a video saving system that is more, I don't know, intuitive, that would help people kind of work their way through those. Because I believe nobody really looks at VODs. The people who do, you're a blessing. Thank you so much.
Right.
But I don't think people really do check out VODs that much at all. It's all there for the live streaming. And I'm wondering if that's an untapped potential that Twitch could look into.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I've heard a lot of people almost ask more from Twitch. Oh, I think your camera might have froze off. Okay, there it goes.
Oh man, I'm sorry. No, my connection, I think, might not be the strongest.
Oh, you're good.
This is a long distance.
Right. This is like halfway across the world. Honestly, every time I think about stuff like this, I was thinking about this yesterday when I was talking to Kukule. I was just like, you're like on the other side of the planet, like, and we're having an IRL conversation. This is crazy. Technology is just mind blowing.
It's wild.
But
this is real-time conversation with someone on the other side of the planet.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. What was I gonna say? Like when it comes to people wanting more from Twitch, I've heard a couple people say they want like more, I don't know if it's VOD stuff, clip stuff, algorithms, Twitch to do more things. But I feel like at the same time, a lot of people come to Twitch with the intention of they want to watch live streaming content. Like that's specifically why people go to Twitch, not to watch VODs, not to watch clips. It's just like 100% to watch 99%, probably safer, 99% to watch live streams. Do you know who Harris Heller is, out of curiosity?
I'm not sure if I do. It sounds familiar though.
He does a lot of like YouTube videos that involve a lot of like streaming gear or streaming tips. He's like very kind of in the Twitch and YouTube live streaming meta, and he switched over. He was like a really big partner on Twitch, switched over to YouTube, and is now streaming on YouTube now. And he talked about he was all excited to stream on YouTube, different platform, new things and everything, but he started to realize that a lot of people go to YouTube not to watch live streaming. They go to watch curated content, high quality videos, and to get somebody to like not focus on that section and to watch a live stream is actually, it's kind of a challenge. So I don't know, do you think it's better for platforms to niche down into like a really specific thing like live streaming or clips or short form content or whatever and kind of go 100% in that? Or do you think it's kind of wise to branch out a little bit?
It's difficult to say. I think a lot of these sites' success is based on how they started and what worked. So Twitch definitely live stream. That's always going to be first and foremost. It's just, for example, Twitch, when you stream, it's just it's the short window of however long you're live for,
right?
Whatever game you're playing that people can catch you in. If they don't catch you, that's it. You'll never cross paths. And it's possible that your favorite streamer you'll ever meet is somewhere that you just keep missing their window or something.
Right. So true.
I'm wondering how can that be figured out? On YouTube, you get all of these suggested videos. They are curated and they're really well edited, but they're there just to view, and they get millions of views, and people are going through that and just finding people because that's timeless. It's not restrained by this little window. So I don't know how that can work, but maybe there's something there that Twitch can somehow allow you to reach beyond the window you're alive.
That would be really interesting. You were kind of mentioning that you were streaming before pandemic, but kind of like pandemic time is when you really kind of jumped full force into it. Is that what initially brought you back into streaming? Was it because you had time at home, a little bit extra? Was there like a friend pushing you or somebody that inspired you to want to jump back into it?
Well, originally when I started streaming, my intent was to make YouTube videos, and that's going to sound really stupid.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, there were loads of YouTubers who I used to watch back then who would record their footage through them playing it on stream, and then use that footage in like edited videos they would do later, like game reviews and stuff. I kind of wanted to do that. I wanted to be a game reviewer. Nice. So I was originally using Twitch just to get footage, and then I'm so bad at video editing. It's just it's horrendous. So I kind of was doing it for that purpose at first. And then as I spent more time on Twitch, I was like looking around, seeing other people's, and being stuck at home during the pandemic, you got all this home time on your hand. It's like, all right, I'm gonna make myself known. I'm gonna start talking to people, not just lurking. And I met some really cool communities, and it felt like, at that point, it felt so much more like I really want to try this again, but not for the YouTube videos, but just to, have this kind of community, this way of talking and sharing passion and playing games. And so, that's why I gave it a second shot.
I think people who do Twitch streams while recording it and creating some kind of YouTube content out of it, those are the big brain plays right there, honestly.
Really is, but it's a tremendous amount of work. I respect anyone who does that, because YouTube, it's a different ball game. You have to really make it, like, zhuzh it up, edit it properly, do your thumbnails. Everything about it has to be tailored. Streaming is a lot easier in that way, that you can just let it flow. But doing both, well,
I think the I don't know, is it like the barrier to entry? Maybe that's not the word for it, but like the quality ceiling maybe on YouTube is so much higher than it is on Twitch. Like, like on Twitch, really, I mean, anybody can kind of like put their webcam up, turn it on and go, flying from there. But on YouTube, you gotta have some, I mean, the thumbnails are super, super important. The titles are super important. The length, the cuts, the editing, there's so much that goes into like a really good YouTube video that I feel like gets kind of lost in a lot of people's mind. They just watch a 5-10 minute video and they're like, oh, maybe that only took 20 minutes or so to make, and it probably took hours upon hours.
Really, really does. My short experience with video editing is like, yes, it really does.
Right. And it's one of those,
I mean, if you're good at video editing, I'm sure it's a lot easier, but
yeah,
just being a novice, oof.
Yeah, and especially if you have a passion for video editing, people out there who like enjoy like opening up the software, getting into the mindset of it and enjoy editing, I'm very envious of those people, because a lot of times when I'm editing stuff, whether it's for like TikTok or whatever, it's such a, I'm like, you got to get in the zone. You got to get in the zone. Okay, let's do it. You got to get in the zone. And it's tough to always get there sometimes because it's a lot. I mean, editing, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of pieces that kind of fly with each other, and it can be tough, especially if you've never edited before, you don't know any of the software. It can be a little bit intimidating, but I mean, thankfully we have YouTube and endless hours of tutorials to watch, right?
Yes, so many of varying quality.
right, of varying quality, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One question I did want to ask out of curiosity is, what originally did bring you to Thailand? Have you always wanted to move there? Have you grown up there? What's the story behind that?
Well, so I'm half Thai. I'm half British, half Thai on my mother's side. I don't really look very particularly Asian, but because of that, I have dual nationality. I'm British Thai.
Oh, okay.
So after not too long after university, I decided this is a good opportunity to just get out of the UK, travel around.
Right.
Maybe I'll spend some time in Thailand, get closer to my family there, learn the language. And then as I stayed here, I was like, oh, this is really nice. Maybe I'll just get a job to help support myself to pass the time while I'm here. And one thing led into another. and then I'm still here. Thailand has treated me very well.
Yeah.
So I really I have a lot of love for this country. I think it's been a fantastic experience. But yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Every time I see photos of so many places around Thailand, it literally looks like the epitome of heaven on earth. It's so beautiful. Just like it's gorgeous. I could totally, I'm a little envious of you living there, because like, do you get out of this?
I know sometimes it's like, I'm so lucky sometimes I feel, because Thailand is some of the best beaches ever. And I love the sea, I love the beach. So that's ticking all of those boxes. It's great for food.
Yes.
Terrible for heat and mosquitoes, but don't worry about that. Don't forget, right. We can just pass by that. Oh, and the other cool thing is that it's very easy to travel around Asia from Thailand. It's very well situated. So I've been able to go to Japan just on a quick holiday, that kind of stuff, which is, I'm so fortunate.
Is like air travel there pretty inexpensive, or is there like trains? Because I know in Asia and in Europe, there's a lot of like high-speed railways and trains between everywhere. It's not really as much of a thing in the United States or in North America, per se, unfortunately. But can you just get on like a high-speed railway and go country to country pretty quick there?
Yeah, no. Thailand is not
that.
We're a few steps behind. That definitely exists in some of the countries around, but for Thailand, our rail system is still pretty old.
Gotcha.
So it's mostly air travel, which is, you can get the odd deal. It's still reasonably pricey, but not too bad.
Yeah. I've never been out of the United States, unfortunately, and it's something I'm
really?
Yeah, and it's even more sad to think about, because I'm like 4 or 5 hours away, like south of Canada, and I still haven't been there. So it's something that I really got to do, and I think everybody should experience travel and just go to as many different countries, as many different cultures, meet as many different people as they can, because it really does just broaden your perspective and broaden your horizons of the entire world, and see how different people you know, interact in terms of like their language and their food and just bringing everybody together. And I feel like the more we come together in that sense, not to be cliche or anything, but like the more people see of just people all around the world, you see so many similarities. There's like more similarities than there are differences between people, and like we're all just humans at the end of the day, just living in different spots in the world.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. There's so much to, like you said, broaden your horizons, to see and to learn, and but also to recognize that we're all just finding our way in the world, maybe from different angles, but
right.
Yeah, just humanity as a whole moving together. It's great. Yeah,
we're all in this together, everyone.
We are.
Is there a particular country that you have not traveled to yet that's like next on your bucket list? You absolutely want to go there?
Oh, wow. What could it be? I've never been to Germany, which might be an odd choice since that's so close to the UK. But I've never been anywhere in South America. So like Mexico or to Brazil or anywhere like that. So I'm very interested in that.
It would be cool
maybe
to go
one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. Yeah, I wonder how similar the like humidity, heat of like Mexico would be to Thailand. I wonder if it's like similar on the equator line. Is that the term for it? Or like the
Yeah, it might be similar. We've got a pretty tropical climate, so it gets very humid and muggy when it, especially during rainy season, which is horrendous. I don't recommend anybody come here during that season. It's miserable.
When's the bad months to travel? When's the really humid months?
Actually, right about now.
Oh, like
although
summertime.
Rainy season's been a bit late this year, but normally it's between June and I would say October.
Gotcha.
Around then, just rainy and it's the type of humidity that's just this layer of dampness between
you like get
your
out of the
clothes
shower and
your
you're
skin,
still
you know?
wet. It's just like you get out of the shower and you're still soaking wet, and you're just like, you just can't get like fully dry.
Oh god, it's the worst.
I have family that live in Florida, so maybe not quite as much to the same extent, but yeah, it's humidity just makes everything worse. The rain worse, the heat worse. Yeah. One question though I absolutely do gotta ask you, Decoy, where did the idea of the Mantaray mascot come from? Where's the manta next to the decoy?
There's a small story behind that, I suppose. So the name DecoyManta is originally inspired by Metal Gear Solid. Have you ever played it?
I have not, but I am definitely familiar with it. I feel like if you're streaming on Twitch, you got to be familiar with Metal Gear Solid, right?
Oh, it's such a good series. It's such a good series, Zeph.
Yeah.
It's not like my favorite series, but there's one character in the first game called Decoy Octopus. And he's like this mysterious member of the villain team who, out of all of the villain team, you don't really see him much and you don't get much story, but he's a crucial part of the team. And I for some reason, I liked that concept, that idea, as sort of unknown but significant member of like this party. So I got inspired by that. And then the manta is because I like manta rays, strangely enough. And when I've tried to see manta rays in real life, I went to Bali in Indonesia to try and see them. On the day to go and see the manta rays, the weather was so bad that nobody was allowed to go into the sea. And then I've traveled to a few other places where they're commonly sighted, and every single time something has prevented me from seeing them. So
it's just not in the cards.
Maybe one day, but I thought that was sort of poetic in a way. DecoyManta, the manta you don't really see.
I get it. I totally get it. I remember going to I think it was a video game shop years ago, and I had, I think, Metal Gear Solid 4 and BioShock, and I went up to the guy and I was like, I can only afford one of these, which one should I buy? And he just straight up was like, you should definitely get BioShock. So that was the split right there, where it could have been, maybe it could have been Metal Gear Solid.
What could have been.
Right.
To be fair, I think that was probably the right choice, because I love Metal Gear Solid, but 4 is it can be a slog if you don't have the context.
I've heard there's a lot of
really
cutscenes and a lot of cutscenes. I've heard
huge, just very long cutscenes. Yeah,
it's like watching a movie, pretty much. Grab the popcorn.
Pretty much.
Have you played?
Settle in, strap in.
Have you played the original BioShock? Have you played the original BioShock?
I did, but I didn't finish it. No.
Oh.
It's
so good.
I've always admired it from a distance. I'm not massively into first-person shooters.
Gotcha.
But I love where the genre has gone. I'm really interested by the storytelling you can do with that. So I've just watched other people playing like some of the really big titles like BioShock. Do you feel like since you've been streaming on Twitch, there's almost become some games that like I have to absolutely play this, I want to play this, and then there's other games where you're almost like, you know what, I kind of wouldn't mind just instead of buying it, instead of playing it, maybe I'll just watch one of my friends play it? Yes. Oh, for sure. Have you found actually, I'll elaborate on that in a second, but have you found that you're trying games that you probably never would have even bothered with before? Because that's
definitely a lot of people like in chat or friends and stuff that have recommended games, a lot of it's been like, I don't know if this is quite my cup of tea, but I'll try it, and then end up trying it and I really enjoy it. So yes, that's been one of the best things.
That's pretty much exactly what happened to me with Bloodborne. Because the Souls games had such a reputation. It was like, oh, it's hard and it's really dense and it's
right.
You see all these clips of people failing and
throwing their controllers at their TV.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I don't want to play that.
Like, why would I do that to myself? I don't.
I'm
not into that.
If I'm being honest, though, I do think a lot of the Dark Souls, like they're so hard. I think a lot of that is maybe over exaggerated a little bit. Like I think they're tough.
It is.
Yeah, they're tough and unforgiving, and you do have to like really use your brain if you keep dying a lot and like, how can I try this differently? But I think I just think they're overstated on on how difficult they are.
100%, they really are. Getting into Bloodborne, I found out again, I never wanted to try it that badly. And I happened to go to get it free on PlayStation Plus. Ooh, so I was like, I'll do this. I'll do it a bit on stream.
Yeah.
And then I had so much fun with it. It's so good.
Did it lead you down the other Souls games?
Oh, yeah. Like I never would have. Well, thanks Twitch. Thanks. Right. I don't think I would have discovered this. So that's been really fun. But in terms of watching other people play it, yeah, absolutely. There's some games I'm not too sure about, or some games like that doesn't look like my thing, but love to see someone play it. So I've watched some of my friends here on Twitch play through some great games and just been along for the ride.
And I feel like it's interesting too, because a lot of people I've talked to, it's almost like they meet the streamer through whatever game they're playing, or maybe it's from a raid or something, but a lot of times I'm interested in watching somebody play Bloodborne, and I'm going to go to Bloodborne and see who's playing it. They kind of browse a couple channels and then they find one they connect with, and then all of a sudden, months down the road, they want to keep coming back for the streamer, not necessarily for the game, but like maybe Decoy's playing Little Nightmares, maybe you're playing Minecraft, maybe you're playing Dark Souls 1, and regardless, like they're there just to hang out with you, and whatever other game you're playing is almost like the extra,
Absolutely. Yeah, that was something that I kind of wanted to ask you as well, that there are certain people who use Twitch because they love a particular game so much. It's not necessarily about connecting or trying lots of different things and finding people. It's more that they love this game so passionately that the way they use Twitch is to watch people experience the game that they love, which is completely a great way to use Twitch. It's completely valid, but in a way it's also, and I'm not sure if you found this, that at the time you finish the game, you've gotten to know this person, is great fun. It's like, all right, I'm gonna try a different game next stream. You don't see them again. It's like, it's mildly heartbreaking, but I totally get it. Like I completely understand. You're totally valid for using Twitch that way. But yeah, it's interesting to see that passion come in that way.
I think it's also yeah, if you're going from something like Dark Souls 1 and then you're jumping over to like Final Fantasy, there might be some people who would follow you, but there might be some people who are like, I'm not interested in that. I just kind of want to play or like look at for Soulsborne streamers. So I think having some kind of like some kind of maybe niche, you know, like I've noticed going through like Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, 2, a lot of people kind of gravitate from one to the next because they're similar games. But then yeah, if I ever do like an indie stream where I'm playing like Hollow Knight or playing like Journey or something, a lot of the regulars friends will still be there, but some won't come. So it's I totally get it, totally fine. But have you kind of found a specific niche that you've gravitated towards, like JRPGs or Soulsborne, or did you just play whatever?
Well, for me, well, that's the thing. I love varying up whatever I'm playing. I do that in my free time as well. So if I play a certain game and it's done, the next game I want to play, I want it to be wildly different. If I'm playing like a menu-based JRPG, the next game I want to play is a platformer. Nice. You know, something like that. Nice. I really like mixing it up. But that was it's interesting applying that to Twitch, because I've definitely met some people who've stayed with me throughout this whole process, and that's really heartwarming. That's fantastic, and I'm very grateful for them. But it definitely means I passing ships in the night, you know, all the time. Meet some great people, but for short periods, and then moving on to the next thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm almost envious a little bit of people who find that one game, whether it's like, you know, Fortnite or Minecraft or whatever, like their niche of game is, and they just live it, you know, like Final Fantasy 14, just a world that you can live in, stream it every single day. I'm almost a little envious because you don't have to think about what game you're playing. You don't have to think about anything. You just kind of like boot it up and then you're off to the races, essentially. Do you think you'd ever find that particular game for you, or do you like the variety?
For me personally, I like the variety so much that sticking to one particular game endlessly I don't think that's for me.
Yeah.
But you're right. There are some people who they found their game and that is them. The same viewers are always going to be there. They found their community. They found their identity, and they can just play it endlessly and have a great time. That's fantastic. That's great. But yeah, that's not me. Just I'm mixing it up.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense though, it's not a bad thing, because then it almost becomes like, if you see these people when you're playing Final Fantasy, and then you see them when you're playing Resident Evil, and then you see them when you're playing Nier, like those people, you know, those people are there for you, not as much for the game, which, like, I think those are the best, you know. I think those are the real MVPs.
That's so touching.
For lack of a better way.
Especially some of them, like one of my viewers the other day is like, I have no idea what any of these games are, but it's been really fun to see them with you. I was like, oh, that's so nice, you know.
Right.
They might not even like these games, but they like you and they want to hang out with you, and that's so flattering.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing about streaming on Twitch has just been meeting so many people from all around the world that probably would have never met had I not done this, and just meeting people that have like different mindsets, different cultures, different ideas, different ways of thinking and communicating, and it's been such a humbling experience seeing how many different streamers and different content creators there are on the platform. It's really incredible. And you know, yourself and so many others, you inspire people, you know, whether you realize it or not. I've come to learn that streamers really do inspire people, and people look forward to their streams. And it's always amazing when somebody's like, when you get told like, I look forward to your stream tomorrow, or I can't wait till you stream next time so we can hang out. It's always like, oh my goodness, like I'm just a dude at a job, like I'm not anything special, and look what we've all created together. Right.
Oh my goodness, it's so nice. Yeah. And again, just personally, it's like I'm not doing anything special. I just want to share something with you guys. Right. But it's I don't know how else to describe it. It's just so humbling, I guess, and overwhelming. Yeah.
I totally agree. Totally agree. One, I do have to ask though, where did the potato challenge point idea originally stem from?
That was an interesting one. So when I
What was
started...
the backstory? Or sorry, what was the, like, what's the description of it again for those that don't know?
Oh, potato. I'll say, what is it again? I'll say any sentence with the word potato in it. So,
Yes.
so when I started out, so it turns out that people quite like the sound of my voice, which is something that is I'm still getting used to, because I always thought my voice was a bit like not that great, a bit nasally. But when I started streaming, I was like, "Oh, you have such a nice voice. Can you say this? Can you say this?" Like at the outset. And so one of the words that the community latched onto was when I said potato, because I enunciate the T's, and so it just became a
running joke,
like an inside joke that, oh, make him say it somehow. And so I just turned it into a redeem. Like, I'll say it. I'll say it.
Nice.
It'll cost you. I'll say it.
I love inside jokes because it just gives something for like everybody to latch onto that you can kind of poke and nudge about. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
yeah, it's bonding, but it's good to keep it accessible. Like people can get in on the joke quite quickly.
Right. Or you can explain it
easily enough. You don't want to exclude anybody.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have a wonderful voice. Do you think you'd ever want to do you think has anybody ever mentioned like voiceover or like audiobooks or anything like that?
Well, yeah, people have mentioned it in the chat actually, and it's something I was exploring to a degree in my own time. I like voice acting. I like just reading stuff out. I always have. So I was getting into voice work before everything happened, and I did a few gigs, but it was mostly doing narration for videos for hotels or charities like UNICEF and stuff. I was doing voiceover for a bunch of their videos. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun, and that's something I hope I can return to or explore a bit more in future. Yeah.
Call this number now to schedule your 5-star resort.
Yeah. It was more like, we are waiting for you, like, see you. What was it?
Yo, I'm here for it.
Undulating sands, cool winds, the sand beneath your feet, that kind of thing.
All right, take my credit card now. I'll sign up.
To do it, but a couple of gigs like that, and the client was really happy, and so yeah, I'm happy.
Dude, I can dig it. I can dig it. The other one I did want to ask, what's been your best insult me senpai redemption you've had yet?
Oh, you've done your research.
I saw these channel points and I'm like, I gotta ask about these. I need to know.
The insult me senpai was essentially, it kind of ties into the potato thing where, again, people like how I talk. I do swear on the channel, but I'm mostly I try to keep it nice. I'm pretty polite. I'm just having fun. So it just became another inside joke that people wanted me to be rude on purpose or like to insult them, because it was just not something I was doing. So we sort of turned it into a thing where it's like, all right, redeem this and I'll insult you. But it's insulting with a twist. So my insults are actually compliments disguised as insults.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that I'll aggressively compliment someone and sort of tease them, but it's all like good-hearted. So I'm not sure if there's a particular one which was my magnum opus. Maybe that's still in the works one day. Some unsuspecting poor soul will receive that one day.
We all need to go to DecoyManta's channel and redeem the Insult Me Senpai channel points.
I had to I had to make it more expensive. It was so popular.
People are
I don't know why. I was
interesting.
like, I'm running out of material, guys. I can't.
Right. I always find it funny how there's some people who love stuff like that, and then there's other people like some people do waste your channel points. They'll have like 10,000 channel points, and all you do is waste them. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh no, I would love to reward people for hanging in there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Out of the wide variety of games that you have been playing on stream, what's been your favorite that stands out of curiosity?
Wow. Okay. There were so many periods. I guess I divide them into chunks, which were so interesting as a streamer. I started with a game called Crosscode, which is this indie JRPG inspired, like top-down action game, almost like the Legend of Zelda, like top-down.
Okay, yeah.
It's really great. It's a really, really good indie game. I really enjoyed my time with that one, and it has this small but super passionate fan base. So that's the game that got me affiliated. I met a lot of cool people just by playing that, who were just so passionate about that game. So that one stands out. And then the next one was probably Bloodborne, in terms of just a new discovery, and the community around Bloodborne is so nice.
Yes.
They are such nice people. I met wonderful people through playing Bloodborne, who they're so supportive. They're there with you. They want to give you advice, but only if you're cool with it. You know?
Right.
And so that was another one that's just a standout for just being a Twitch experience, not just a game, but just what streaming could really be. That's where I really discovered it, I feel. Yeah. Or
sorry, what were we gonna say?
Oh, sorry. And then I guess the last one would be Final Fantasy VII, like the OG PlayStation 1 version.
So good.
Because again, it's such a good game. Like it's so cool. That was my first time ever playing it. So it was a new discovery for me. So it was great to just discover that story. It's magnificent. But again, the people who I met through that, so passionate, so happy about the game, so happy to see someone experiencing it for the first time and getting to know you, talking about your favorite type of RPGs, that kind of thing. So I think those three all kind of meant something along the way. And so those ones really stand out.
On the Bloodborne one, I totally agree with everything you were saying about the community. Like, for such a dark, aggressive, difficult series of games, like, the community behind them are so passionate about just helping people and like, don't give up, keep going, you got this. Like,
yeah, I never once heard anybody say like, get good, or like, you suck, or never.
Right.
And that's like, I died a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, for such,
that was great.
For such tough games, like, there's just the community behind them is outstanding. And I mean, the Final Fantasy community as well is great. And just these like it's almost like these games that have such a cult following, almost, you know, like just these older games that people are so passionate about. People love to see their friends experience them for the first time. Like for me, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. I'm super passionate about it. I love it to pieces. And anytime I see somebody playing it for the first time, I'm always just super excited to hear their perspective, hear their reactions, just kind of see what they think of the story and the music and everything. That's one of the things I absolutely love about Twitch, is kind of like what we were talking about a little bit earlier, is if there's a game you maybe not want to play but want to watch, and even games that you are very passionate about and you have played, watching your friends experience them for the first time, it's like, instead of just replaying it, I'll just go watch Decoy like play Final Fantasy VII for the first time. And it's
right. It's almost like replaying it, except it's got that added level of like sharing it and
right.
Seeing like nostalgia, because you're getting the same hit just by seeing somebody taking that hit, you know?
Right. Watching it, like playing it alongside your friends. Literally one of the coolest things I saw on Twitch was when you and MrDndy, I believe, were playing. It was Bloodborne, right?
Yeah, when we did our co-stream, that was so fun.
That was cool.
So fun.
It just kind of it almost just felt like it takes the sense of like playing what a lot of people consider to be a single player game, or, you know, a first playthrough, and just I don't know, experiencing it with a friend, like in IRL real time setting, I thought that was really cool. Sorry, what were you saying on it?
No, I was just going to say that doing that was a great experience as well. Coordinating with somebody. Shout out to MrDndy, who you've had on the show before. He's a fantastic guy, such a nice guy.
Yes,
yeah, we bonded over a mutual love of certain games, and we decided, yeah, why don't we'll try this out, see how it goes. So funny, so much fun, just making mistakes and dying and accidentally getting the other person killed, and just such a mess, but it was so fun. And since then I've done a few other co-streams with a couple of other people, cooperative games like A Way Out or It Takes Two, if you know those two in particular.
Yes,
great, they're so fun. I would highly recommend anybody to find a friend and just play through those.
Yeah, it's really fun to play like co-op. I haven't really played too much aside from like, I guess Mario Kart with my wife. Sometimes she'll join me on stream and we'll play Mario Kart together. Okay. But yeah, like multiplayer.
Who's better at Mario Kart between you two?
Ooh. Should I be honest or should I
she
be
in
cocky?
The room? Or
no, I think she's still sleeping. I mean, I would say
so you can be honest.
She's probably better. She plays a lot more than I do. So yeah,
hey, nice.
But I'd say ever so slightly. We're pretty on par. But do you ever do community nights like with friends and stuff, like while you're streaming and play Mario Kart or play like Among Us or any of those like community based games?
Occasionally, yeah. I'm a really big fan of fighting games like Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash Bros, that kind of thing. So occasionally we'll do a fighting game Friday where a bunch of the community who have the game, we just all get online and just beat each other up on stream for a while. That's fun. But I personally, I'm a little cautious around doing like open community games where it's like, oh, anyone can join in, because I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I'm not sure if I have total control of those situations. I respect anybody who does it, and I think they're a lot of fun, and it's a great way to meet people. But yeah, I've mostly stuck to community nights with the constant viewers.
Yeah. When it comes to just open lobbies and stuff like that, it's like you said, so much potential for meeting new people, meeting new friends, but there's a lot that can go wrong, especially being live.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the big difference I feel like with Twitch, between like Twitch and YouTube, is like if it's so much more reactionary in the moment on Twitch, because there's so many things that could happen. You've heard horror stories about like hate raids or just people hopping in and just like saying really aggressive things, and it just kind of turns your community into like a hostile environment, and that's something nobody wants.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
It's not just yourself, it's your community as well. They're the ones getting affected, and I don't want to bring that to them. So yeah, I try to be careful. Yeah,
I've seen that a couple times with friends play Jackbox party packs. Like they'll just have the code available, anybody can hop in, and then all of a sudden you get people drawing things maybe they shouldn't be drawing on Twitch, shall we say?
Yeah, always the danger, unfortunately. We can't have nice things.
We can.
We try.
There's always going to be someone who has to ruin it for everybody, unfortunately. But I mean, at the same time, it's good that, you know, where a lot of people are smart enough to understand that and kind of put some safeguards in place, like maybe just playing with friends, or, you know, I've seen some people do like follower only mode during times like that, which I'm not super crazy on follower only mode, but like I get it for community nights and community games. It could kind of make a little bit more sense. So yeah,
some people do like a rule, like maybe if this is your first time here, you can't play, but on the next one for sure, you know, it'd be great to see you then, just to get a vibe and to see if this person's actually like there to hang out or they're just, you know, messing around.
Right. Especially if it says their account was created 3 minutes ago and it's got like a name with like 27 characters and like 14 words in it or 14 numbers in it. You're like, this isn't suspicious at all.
This seems okay.
right. This seems okay.
Get in here, pal.
Streaming on Twitch has been, it's an experience for sure. In terms of like streaming on Twitch, where do you kind of see your channel going in the next 6 to 12 months in the future? Do you kind of have plans of what you want to do? Anything up and coming?
That's it's tricky because I don't really know. I think again the unpredictability of it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing where it takes me, but I would like to get into. So another passion of mine is specifically JRPGs. I really love those games, story-based games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally into. I would love to stream those more, and I'm going to see if I can start fitting that in. It's at the outset, it was just such a big ask for it to have people come in before they really knew me and watch a huge game, such a long game, because a lot of JRPGs are super long.
They are.
So I sort of avoided that at first, and sort of built up the community playing a lot of other games. And now it's, yeah, I really like the little corner of Twitch I've made, and I would love to start playing some of these games because I've been people in the community have been encouraging me to do it as well because they like the same games that I do. So maybe some of that. But apart from that, I don't really know. It's so unpredictable these days.
I feel like it's really important though, first and foremost, to always play what you really are excited to play, what gets you passionate about it. And yeah, I mean, I've seen some people who literally just play JRPGs, and I mean, they've skyrocketed. So just kind of everything in between, just kind of find what you really enjoy and just dive into it. Is there a particular JRPG series you really want to dive into? Because there's a lot of great ones.
There are a lot of great ones. So my thing is I missed out the PlayStation 1 generation. So there are some blockbuster JRPGs on that console. There's Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. There was Final Fantasy Tactics. There was Xenogears. There were a lot of great games there. So
Legend
I think
of Dragoon.
maybe taking a trip through the past and catching up
yeah,
on some of the classics would be something really fun to do.
I have never played Legend of Dragoon, but everybody says that is like an absolute have to experience it. So that is really high on my list of games I really want to play. Have you played that one yourself, or did you miss out on that one?
I have not. Yeah, that's another one that's on the list. Hopefully I can knock out in future.
Tactics is interesting because Tactics is like, it's so different than 7, 8, or 9. It's kind of like its own genre of thing, but there are people who love, like, when you ask some people what their favorite Final Fantasy game is of all times, it's not uncommon to hear some people say Tactics. Like, there is a huge fan base for Tactics.
Huge, yeah. And sometimes surprising people as well, that they're into their shooters or whatever, and they're like, oh, Final Fantasy Tactics, that's the one. Like, really?
Right.
This turn-based strategy, lots of squares kind of thing. Like,
right.
Okay, this must be something to it.
Yeah, the PlayStation series or the PlayStation 1 era is interesting because it's almost like that time period, whereas like the end of the Super Nintendo was just the pinnacle of beautiful pixelated graphics, like 16-bit beauty of like Final Fantasy VI and Super Mario World and like Chrono Trigger, just these games that I personally think still hold up today and look incredible. But like the very first games of like the PlayStation 1 had very interesting graphics. Like you saw with Final Fantasy VII, it's interesting.
Final Fantasy VII is not a good-looking game.
It's not.
It's really not. It's very atmospheric, but presentation-wise, they were still figuring it out. But despite that, I don't know what was going on in Square at the time. I don't know what was going on with a lot of developers at the time, but their imaginations were on fire. They were just creating amazing things. Maybe visually, not everything caught up, but the strength of those stories that they were making, the gameplay that they were exploring, it's holds up.
Totally agree. I think one thing that they knocked out of the park so much back in the day is they were so focused on creating a really good game and then just moving on right afterwards. And I think that's something that's gotten lost a lot nowadays. Like people create an amazing game and then they want to create DLC and then they want to create like multiplayer and then they want to add and they're like always working on this one game for 10 years. And I guess just single player games in general have just changed over time, but like that was something I really narrow down to is a huge reason why those games were successful, because you had like Final Fantasy 6, an amazing game, and then like a few years later Final Fantasy 7, an amazing game, and then Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 9, and there was never a like, yo, Final Fantasy 7 was pretty good, maybe we should have a 7 part 2, or you know, a 7 part 3, or 7, like there was none of that. It was just like, we made a good game, but it's in the past, time to move on to 8, time to move on to 9, and kind of keep pushing forward. And I mean, they kind of did add a little bit to 7 as years went on with prequels.
Just a little bit.
Right. And now remaking
so
everything.
Extra stuff that they tacked onto that series.
It's crazy.
Over time.
It's crazy to think like 7, 8, and 9 all came out within what, like a 3-year period. That's crazy.
I was just about to say, yeah, the development cycle between each of those amazing games was a year.
Right.
And that's unheard of. That's impossible now. So in a way, I can see that a lot of value for game companies now is giving a game as long a lifespan as possible. And maybe that's through DLC, maybe that's through sequels or something, but there was something just about having a complete game done, story, nothing to be fixed with patches later, nothing to be enhanced upon. It was just this wonderful thing that is complete and it's yours.
Yes.
And I kind of miss that. I do.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about just releasing a game that's just the way it is, you know, bugs and glitches, and you got to get it as close to 100% as possible and to the release date. So yeah, worse nowadays, it's not uncommon for developers to release games that are kind of broken in a sense. I mean, like the small game nobody's heard of called Cyberpunk. I'm not really sure about, I've heard about that one. Right, but that is really frustrating. Like companies can just kind of put out a half-assed game a lot of times now and then just fix it slowly over time with patches. And I don't know if it's because investors are pushing the game out because they want to get their money back. I'm sure that's maybe a piece of it, or maybe deadlines and people thought like they bit off more than they could chew, essentially. Like there's this grand, amazing world and it's going to take, you know, a decade to make, but we have to release it in 5 years kind of thing. So I don't know. I feel like people get so caught up in these huge open world games, and while they're amazing, they are they can kind of be a problem in and of themselves, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't want to trivialize it whatsoever. Making a game like games today is a monumental task. So
yes.
Making everything perfect compared to what it probably was like back in the day is going to be tough. But you can clearly see where there's been rush or cut corners or almost inexcusable kind of, they knew it was broken. Like they knew it wasn't right. But they, for some reason, I don't know, maybe they needed to make the money back immediately. Maybe there was some sort of financial reason or investor reason that they had to. But they have the goal just to put it out there, receive the backlash, and then promise to fix it later.
It's this weird thing because like games nowadays, I've talked about this in the past, like games nowadays are not, you know, like games they were 20, 30 years ago. Games nowadays have hundreds of millions of dollars. A lot of these AAA titles have hundreds of millions of dollars behind them, in investors looking to recoup money. It's such a money thing. And when you tie in the art aspect of it, it's just all these talking heads like trying to come together to create this piece of art. And it really does blow my mind that some game companies can still put out just such incredible stories that are so artistic, like stuff like God of War or The Last of Us. Like Naughty Dog is, I always feel like Naughty Dog is kind of in a league all their own compared to literally everybody else, because they just have the sense like, we're going to create an amazing game in so many different ways and so many different configurations, and we're not going to let investors push us to push it out at a particular time. Like I'm sure they have like a deadline and like we have to get it out by this time. The problem with all of that being said though is this idea of like video game crunch time and pushing developers to work, you know, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to get these games done in this time period. So it's weird. It's combining art and money to such a high degree, and not like a couple $100s. Like, these are hundreds of millions of dollars of money a lot of times. So it's a weird situation to be in, I feel like.
Yeah, it might be easy enough to on the outside to look at this situation and be, oh, why don't they just XYZ? But there's so much going on behind every game these days that it's really hard to discern. Crunch is it sucks, and you would hope that nobody has to go through it. I don't know. I don't want to say that maybe it's necessary in certain cases, but I really don't know what could be happening back then that it's like it's make or break maybe for some of these guys. So I don't know. That I think nowadays people are so aware of crunch and how strenuous it is to work in the video game industry that I see it commonly said across the internet now that it's okay, take your time, delay the game, it's all right, you can delay it. Like a lot of people are just very open about make it good on its first release, don't worry about it, we'll get you when you're ready. But again, who knows what the deciding factors are within the company itself.
Right, because like I'm sure most people nowadays would say that if a game is being pushed too hard on developers or pushed too hard to meet a scheduled deadline, a lot of people nowadays seem to be like, it's fine, delay it 6 months, delay it a year, like it's fine, we'll get it. But then you also have to wonder how much is like investor pressure out there pushing them to release it, because they're like, I don't care that everybody's gonna wait for it, I need my money now, you need to make my money now, kind of thing. So
exactly
it kind of does frustrate me a little bit when some people talk about video games being too expensive even nowadays at $70. Like, I've always personally I've always thought video games were so undervalued in a sense, like, because you can go to a movie theater for a 2-hour 3-hour show and pay $20 for a ticket, whereas a video game you can pay $70 for a game and get 30, 50, 100 hours, endless replays of it nonstop, with so much stuff maybe being added through DLCs. So many things just are in the game for you to explore, and for $70 I've always thought that was pretty good value. And I mean, that doesn't even take into account getting it on sale. Like, sometimes these $70 games that have these hundreds of millions of dollars of budgets behind them, or tens of millions of dollars, you can get them for $20 on a sale sometimes. So yeah, I feel like I feel like for a lot of games, I'm sorry. Oh no, you're good. But I feel like for a lot of these games, the scope and the amount of budget behind them that are put into them doesn't quite equal out to the end cost, you know?
Yeah, there was always the talk about, because video games have been in America at least, right, $60 for the longest time. Yeah, and the world has changed so much since that initial price point was set. Actually, wasn't there a point where it used to be 50 and then they moved it up to 60 and everyone freaked out in a similar way?
Yeah, I think it was PlayStation like, 2 games.
This is what
were
game
50.
Companies need.
Right, I think PS2 games were 50 and then PS3 was 60 if I can recall, and now PS5 is 70. But that's also not even counting into inflation. Like, if you
inflation, exactly.
Right, if you count inflation in there, it's $70 is probably the same as $50, you know, 20 years ago, if not even less, maybe. Sorry, what were you saying?
We're spoiled. That's what it boils down to.
Right.
We're so spoiled.
It almost makes me feel
getting
good.
These amazing lifetime kind of games, and like, oh, well, I don't know. This game that costs as much as a pretty big meal that I'm going to treat myself to later in the week.
Right.
Like, that's too expensive.
Isn't it so fascinating how humans can put values on certain things differently and be fine spending money on one thing? But like, one that's always fascinated me is people spending money on applications on their phone. Like, everybody always gravitates towards the free app, even if the premium one that you use every single day for work or whatever, like something, an app you use all the time, if it's $2 for the premium version for one-time purchase, people won't want to spend money for it as they're driving off the Starbucks, you know, drive through with their $8 mocha frappuccino caramel thingy.
Exactly. All these small costs that are just like, I'll treat myself to this. It builds up. It's a huge amount of money in some cases.
Right.
Like, all right, we're not gonna pay a little bit extra for this game that took years to create and is
it's
just yeah.
It's fascinating. Humans are so fascinating. I always just love thinking about like little conundrums like that of why people will spend money so eagerly on or like getting coffee every single day or going out to eat all the time or just anywhere these dollars just seem to flow out of people's income here and there. But then stuff that's like something they're going to get a lot of value from, something like maybe a video game they're going to spend a lot of time on, maybe an application that's going to help them get work done better. Some people are hesitant with spending money on that. I guess it's just all priorities where people's money go, right?
Exactly. A lot of it goes to that immediate, quick gratification, that spur of the moment. Yeah, this will be good.
Right.
But they just look at things in different ways, yeah.
Have you noticed the whole industry, it seems like with video games, is kind of changing too, in the sense where so many games now are becoming like gotcha kind of games where they have like loot boxes in there or they have like stuff hidden away behind a paywall. What are your thoughts on all of that?
Not a big fan of gambling, of gotcha, of loot boxes. I think it is. It's just a way for people to spend more money in that vain hope of getting the thing that they actually want instead
Right.
of being able to just get the thing they actually want. I'm not massive about it. Not a big fan of paywalls either. This isn't to say that I'm anti like DLC or anything like that. Like, absolutely not. But it kind of falls into that pocket. I had this discussion with about this with someone recently, where if the content is made after the base game is done and it's to give it some more life and it's to for the players or whatever, then I'm happy to drop some money on that. But if it's something that was intentionally left out of the final product, or it was something that they were creating at the time with the intention of just like making it a cash grab, I'm not down with that. But so that's kind of where I draw the line for most of my DLC purchases after the fact.
I wonder how many of those are created with that notion, like in the forefront. Like they're looking at their game, they're creating particular, maybe a section of the game, and they're like, you know what if we cut this just for DLC? I wonder, it would be fascinating to talk to a game developer and ask how often that happens. Or maybe they're like fully created the game, everything's done, and they're like, okay, we're going to slice this part off over here, and that's going to be DLC that we're going to charge $20 for. Or if it is where a lot of developers will fully create their game, they release it, get some good reception, people like it, and they're like, okay, maybe we could add something more over here, and then they begin development on it. That would be fascinating to talk about.
I think that would really be a case-by-case basis. I'm convinced that both of those situations definitely happen. Right. But it would be so interesting to see, like, with which games has that occurred, with which studios, with and why.
You know, now that I think about it, I was reading the other day on Twitch. Twitch is there's a lot of people gravitating on Twitch towards like gambling sections. Have you been reading a lot about that?
There was the whole was it the FaZe Clan debacle thing that happened recently? Yeah. Doing like slots and stuff. I'm not too clued into it because I don't know, I'm not going to those sections myself. Right. But it's becoming a lot more. I'm hearing a lot more about it.
Yeah, I was just, the only reason I bring that up is because I was just thinking a moment ago, another section that's really growing in popularity is Pokemon card openings. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Where people buy Pokemon
people
packs.
Writing about that now.
Dude, my wife and I went to Target like a week or so ago, and we saw like a whole section on the wall that was like limit of 2 Pokemon packs per customer. And I went up to a person like who worked there, and I'm like, are there any left available? And he's like, no, we've been sold out of them for days now. We're waiting for our next shipment. I'm like, of Pokemon cards. Pokemon card. Like,
did he flinch when you asked him that? Like,
right, like get away from my cards. Right. No, he was cool about it. But I'm just like, man, these things that I used to get like all the time when I was a kid, now there's a crazy amount of popularity coming back for them. But in a sense, when you think about it, people spend what, $5, $10 for a pack of Pokemon cards, with the hope now that they can open it, maybe get a really rare card in there. Maybe they could resell it in a sense. So it's almost like, is Pokemon card pack openings, are those in and of themselves kind of becoming like a gambling thing?
I think,
in a weird way.
The concept has been around for a long time. It's just, it exploded through the loot box, identity. But card packs, that's been around forever. That is definitely what they are.
That's fascinating. Just how Twitch is, it seems Twitch has changed like the past year, 2 years, in the sense where there's a lot of gambling stuff going on. There's, I mean, obviously the hot tub fiasco and
that meta.
Right, that whole meta. But like people trying to find where the line is for TOS and push ever so hard against it and see where the breaking point is. Twitch is fascinating. I mean, I'm not saying right or wrong whether there should be gambling or whether there should be like hot tub stuff like that. Like, I don't know. But in the sense, I've read a lot of people too with gambling. A lot of these top streamers are having connections a lot of time with some of these slot companies or apps or whatever, where they'll be getting like paid by them to showcase the app and then win money on it. It's a whole thing going on, and then people are like,
or in some cases they're part owners, or they've got some sort of investment in it, but they don't disclose that to anybody, and that's a problem.
Right. It's
I personally, a philosophy that I like to look at life in general with is, as long as you're not hurting anyone, you can do whatever you want. Like, as long as you are not negatively impacting someone or damaging anyone else, do whatever you want, man. Like, this is your life, you live it the way that you want to. So when I see people doing like the hot tubs and all of this, and people might complain like, oh, you're just, you wouldn't get these views and blah blah blah, it's like, whatever, like, like, just don't watch, like, go somewhere else. The people that are watching hot tub streamers, they're not gonna come to my stream and watch me play JRPGs. That's not why they're on Twitch. That's not why they're watching the channels they do.
Exactly.
So there's no need to get mad about it.
It's different not customer base, but different viewer base, right?
Yeah. But when it comes to gambling, I know that can be a problem, and that does kind of fall into the realm of, you can definitely hurt some people, some impressionable people as well. There's a lot of younger people who follow these streamers who are promoting all of this stuff, and they trust what this person is saying. They could get into trouble. It's a concern.
Do you think Twitch should be an 18 plus platform? Like, because I know the age limit is 13, but every time I mark my stream personally as 18 plus, if anybody pops in and mentions age that's under that, it's just like an immediate ban. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's so tough, because I remember being 13. I remember being 15. And I remember just being so excited, like, by the internet, because that was happening when I was growing up, but also just by wanting to share stuff with people and to meet people and to connect, and because it's the age where you're discovering so much, and you find the things that you're going to be passionate about for the rest of your life. It's all happening at once, and you got all this emotion going on. So in that time, a platform like Twitch can be incredible. Like, it can be such an amazing place to be. And I remember being that age, finding websites or meeting people that I wasn't there to cause trouble. I just wanted to have fun and get to know people. And so I'm sure there's so many young people out there who are in exactly the same mind frame, but they're having it ruined by everyone else who doesn't have that mind frame.
Right. And I think it's different too. Like if you're under 18, I mean, we've all been under 18 at some point. So if you're going to go to those whereabouts of the internet, like we've all been there. But at the same time, I think it's also different too when they pop in, they're like, hey, I'm 14 years old, and they like announce it to the world. It's like, okay. Dude,
I'm so sorry. You messed up.
Right, you messed up hard. You're out. But yeah.
Better luck next time. Maybe in another lifetime. There are some. I think I'm pretty sure, I haven't asked their ages, so unconfirmed. But I think there's a couple of youngish people who've come by my streams once or twice who have been so polite, so nice, that it's like, I think I'm gonna say you're 18.
Yeah.
Have fun. Like, we're gonna treat you nice here.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
they've earned it. They've deserved it. But it's such a difficult thing. It's so uncontrollable, and it's such a formative age that, I don't know, maybe it would be better if it was 18 plus. Certainly make it easier.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like I am totally of the mindset, if people want to do hot tub streams and, sexually suggestive stuff, like, it's a free world. Go, make your money, go crazy on that stuff. But I think they're on Twitch specifically, there has to be some kind of bumper guards in place to, when people go into just chatting and then just see all sorts of maybe not exactly just chatting stuff in there per se.
Yeah.
And a lot of these very provocative streamers, they have links that are specifically moving people to like their OnlyFans content. So they're like using this soft core version on Twitch to send people over to their OnlyFans stuff. And it's I don't know, should that be okay? It's almost in the sense too of like gambling. Like, should gambling, I mean, you can go watch somebody pull a slot machine and it's like, okay, but when there's other things tied behind it, it makes you question a lot of their motives,
That's so tough, because that's such a gray area. A lot of it falls into that. I mean, the parasocial thing, where a lot of the times people are donating or they're following and chatting because they really want to have some kind of connection with whoever they're watching. And is it the person's fault? Like, are they manipulating? Are they creating this kind of relationship, or are they just sort of doing their thing and people are creating that of their own accord? It's really tough.
It's a mind bender, because I mean, on one side you have a lot of people who are essentially, I don't want to say manipulating, but like as close to that word as you can get to some people. They're essentially like, I'll give you a relationship with me, not a real relationship, but I will let you into my life and say your name out loud and talk to you if you give me money. But then there's also, there is unfortunately a market of people who are lonely. They don't have friends, they don't have family, and they want somebody to talk to. And if they have to pay money for it, they will pay money for it. So it's essentially like this person is just doing what a market of people want to do. But in the sense, like, should we be focusing on those people who are paying the money and trying to help them actually really help them? Because I don't think paying some person on the internet who's putting their butt in front of the camera for them to say your name out loud, I don't think that's helping. It might be a band-aid.
Maybe for a second.
Right. It might be a band-aid for a moment, and you kind of get like some, I was going to say relief, but I don't think that's quite the word. Right. But like, it's weird. It's interesting because they are fostering this relationship with these people for money. And there are people who want a relationship for money. So I just feel like Twitch isn't the place for it.
I think the way that I look at it is that I wonder if this is going to sound unkind. I'll try and figure it out. Is that A lot of the time, I feel like it's on you, like, dude, or whoever it is. It's like, this is on you. Don't have to give money to this person,
Right.
but yeah, they might be lonely, they might be manipulating, but I think the way to help those people is not by changing Twitch, it's by making systems or society able to reach out and help people who are in those situations in the first place. Like, Twitch is not necessarily the issue. It's more about people who find themselves mentally in that place,
Right.
and have turned to Twitch because of it. So if there was some sort of better system for them in the greater world, then yeah, maybe I feel like that's probably the greater issue.
And I think it all boils down to just mental health. I feel like people don't talk about mental health enough. They don't talk about what's going on in their lives enough. And maybe they don't have friends or a relationship or, you know, family that they can disclose those things to. Kind of similar on the topic, but I've like always believed, I feel like everybody should have therapy in their life and should have a therapist, like somebody that they can really in-depth talk to in a way they can't talk with anybody else. And unfortunately, like in society, having a therapist usually means costing a lot of money, and it's not exactly openly available for a lot of people. So they almost try to cure their mental health issues or like problems they're going through by turning to stuff like Twitch or like Pornhub or just drugs or alcohol or gambling. They just kind of turn to these vices, and yeah, they're putting band-aids over a much deeper problem, when in reality, just, you know, they just need somebody to listen to, somebody to talk to, somebody to open up to, and to be a real, I don't even, you know, maybe not even a friend, but just somebody that they can divulge themselves openly to. So
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen this happen on Twitter quite a bit recently, and maybe you've seen it as well. People talking about trauma dumping, where they say, please don't come into a stream and dump your trauma, because it could end up, that's a lot of responsibility to put onto people. It's triggering for the streamer, it can be triggering for people in chat. In a way, my heart goes out to these people who feel like this is the way that they can get their feelings out, but it can be so damaging to everyone around them to do it that way. And again, I feel like the solution is that stuff like therapy, stuff like something within society should be in place so that those people can get the help that they need without feeling like they need to turn to Twitch. It's a similar situation again. But yeah, it's something that we kind of, it just happens that people see this person on screen, they're so affable, they're so likable and supportive, and they feel like, this person, I can finally, you know, get everything off my chest. And yeah, it can be misguided. Maybe that's not the right word, but yeah, and I mean, we're not therapists, we're not mental health professionals, so like if you come in, I didn't get the degree,
right, and just drop, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're having like a bad day, that's kind of like one thing, but if it's something like traumatic or something just happened, you know, I've had people pop in and say just broke up with significant other, or, you know, had a family member pass away or something, and it's like it just completely changes the mood of you, the mood of your stream, the mood of everything. And I always try to look at both perspectives. Like, I get this person just needs somebody to talk to, they need somebody to confide in, somebody that they can open up their feelings to, but I also understand that streamers, that is a huge burden, and that's not exactly why a lot of people, you know, started streaming in the first place. But there are I was about to say, there are people who did specifically start streaming because of that. Yeah, like mental health streamers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some of those guys are great, and I think they're doing fantastic work. But yeah, I don't mean this in a way that I never want anyone to talk about the problems ever. Of course not.
You need to talk about our
absolutely
problems.
There to talk and to support and to help you out. But sometimes there is a degree which is so intricate and overwhelming and so personal that putting it out like that isn't even conducive to getting help, because there's so many layers that the streamer has no idea where to even begin.
Right.
That maybe therapy could really be the much better answer.
Right. There's like a time and place and person for everything. And yeah, like it's not at all like we're saying we don't want to help people, because like we all want to help everybody and just help our friends get through troubling times. But we also need to understand, in the same sense, on viewer sides, on friend sides, like we don't have the mental health degree, you know, and there's some things, some really traumatic things that just need a professional touch, or just need something that a lot of us streamers don't have. So but I think communication, just in overall, if there's one skill set everybody can universally get better at and everybody can universally benefit from, it's communication. And just being able to communicate with yourself, with others, with professionals, it can go such a long way. Not even just streaming or Twitch or anything, but just in life in general.
1000%. Yes, absolutely. In real life with anybody, a lot of the times people take, I don't know, just this might be skewing off a bit, but sometimes people live and die by an opinion, or you know, their beliefs so hard that we lose sight that that's another person with
right.
you know, their own story, their own family, values, you know, good things, bad things. But it's just like, no, I only identify them as this one thing, and I don't like that thing, so this person is dead to me or whatever, or this person is evil. It's like, whoa, hang on.
Yeah,
there's a level of communication that everyone should be willing to come into calmly and be able to you know, meet at a level. But sorry, I know that skewed off a bit from being able to express yourself and communicate with yourself.
I totally agree. I think something that's a huge problem just in the world with people in general is people get married to ideas and married to labels on themselves. And I think there's one life-changing thing I've kind of really started to strive for, is to not be married to any idea whatsoever. Like, some things I'm very passionate and stuck on, and it's going to take a lot of evidence to the contrary to be able to persuade me. But when people are just so stuck in their ways and like everything else is an opposing view, I think that does more harm than good in the overall world of things. I think just trying to be open-minded with everything. And I know some things like, you know, religion and politics can get very sticky, very difficult for people to be open to the idea that they might be wrong in a sense in some things. But just being open to change and being open to whatever the world's going to throw at you, and just trying to keep as level-headed as possible, is something that a lot of people, probably everybody in the world, could benefit greatly from.
Yes, a willingness to be wrong, or to be humble enough to admit when you're wrong and to change perspective. I read a very interesting thing recently. I'm going to quote it terribly, by the way, but it was the concept that sometimes people get so attached to a concept or a belief that to admit they're wrong or to deny it would be as if to kill themselves. And it's not as in
ego.
Yeah, the ego death, where they are this opinion, that to admit they're wrong is impossible. And maybe they don't think in their heads it's impossible, but they're so wrapped up in it that it's just like cannot happen without them killing a part of themselves. It's wild, and it's fascinating how we can get to that point.
People are just very egotistical in general. A lot of people are very like, they just, it's
just
such,
boil it down.
People are just very, very content that they're right and others are wrong, and just putting labels on everybody for every little thing. And if you identify as the opposing side of what I believe in, we're just enemies, and there's nothing we can come to in the middle, which is so mind-numbingly frustrating because there's so many aspects that make us individual, whether it's through our interest in music or life or video games or politics or what we studied in school. Like there's so many core facets that make us who we are, and to just, it's such a struggle here in the US. Like people will legitimately just break family relationships, friendships, just because of like political differences, or like you left your religion, you're dead to me kind of mentality. And it's such a shame. And it's so frustrating.
It really is.
I'm just like, we're all part of one team, and it's called the human team, and like people seem to forget that so much. But yeah,
precisely.
One thing kind of stemming off that on a little bit of a side note that I'm really excited for, it seems like more and more common in the world, this idea of like using psychedelics in a way to expand one's mind is becoming more and more popular, like more mainstream in a sense. So I don't know, when it comes to the ego side of things, maybe the whole world just needs to take some mushrooms or something, and then
needs to expand
our
one
mentality.
Giant ego.
your ego will fade quicker than you can ever imagine. But yeah, I mean, totally going off on a tangent there, but like I feel like that's something people are so stuck in their ways of being stuck and married to ideas that don't make you. Like ideas don't make you who you are. It's your culmination of everything that makes you who you are, whether that's, again, political or religious or whatever. Like, have an open mind, try to be open about everything. Try to, even if it's something you're really passionate about, like there's some things like political wise, like I very much am like, I'm very stuck on this, but I still want to hear an opposing side. Just open-minded to hear if there's maybe some sparse of truth in there, some sprinkles of some good things, but yeah, it's so team-based in the world, it feels like. So tribal.
Yeah, it's true. It's too black and white. A lot of people, nobody thinks that they're, well, I would say very few people, let's go with that, thinks that they're evil. Like nobody thinks that they're bad. They think that they are doing things for a justified reason. So it's about kind of figuring out, how did they get to that point? What makes them think that this is the right course of action? And figuring that out rather than looking at what they're doing and branding them as X. You know?
That's it. I think it's just so easy for people to do that, to just be like, oh, you think that? That's your label, and I'm done. Like
you're a monster. Yeah.
Exactly.
Instead of, well, maybe he's doing it for a reason that he thinks will benefit people. Like, right. Should we hear him out? Just a bit. Like, come on, it's okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, most people just want to get to the same happy place, and maybe our methods getting there are different. Maybe we have different philosophical ways that we think to get there, but we all just want what's best for, at least I hope we all want what's best for everyone.
That is the hope. That's why I said, like, oh, maybe I can't say everybody. Maybe there is somebody out there. It's like, today I think I'm gonna be evil. I think I'm gonna ruin some lives. Maybe there is that person, but I like to believe that as a whole, the human race has good intentions, that we are overall good.
Well, speaking of evil things that maybe had good intentions in the beginning, what are your thoughts?
No. Where's this going?
This is actually a perfect
Am I
segue.
getting canceled?
No.
This was a sting.
In terms of that, like, what are your thoughts on social media, using social media as a streamer, and do you find yourself using it? Do you stay off of it pretty often? I mean, that's a great entry into evil things that probably had good beginnings.
It's so true. So for me, I've never been wild about social media that much anyway. I like to mull things over and think about things and take in information instead of throwing out my opinion into the ether or at people specifically. That doesn't mean I'm devoid of opinions. That doesn't mean I don't believe in right and wrong, but I'm just careful about how I approach social media, and maybe a bit too careful, because now with streaming, social media is such a big part of it. I was like, all right, maybe I can start figuring this out. So I've been using Twitter a bit more. I'm using Instagram now.
I saw.
I hate taking photos of myself. I hate taking photos of myself. When I first started streaming, I never wanted to use a camera. I just wanted it to be. I didn't want people to see my face. But
so you're saying your phone is not filled with selfies, is what you're saying?
No, but I'll work on it. Anybody who's interested, I'll work on it. But yeah, going into those things as well, I start to see how people are using it. The popular tweets or what the discourse is, and sometimes it can be a bit scary, a bit worrying to see the what's the word?
Twitter crazies.
I forgot what it. Yeah, kinda.
The extremes.
But just how visceral it can all kind of be with people's opinions when people are just trying to have a good time.
Right.
Yeah. But it's been a fascinating look. I've kind of used Twitter in a way that I'm not following anything that's too triggering, but now and again I get Twitter recommends or like, oh, what's happening on Twitter? And it shows me something like, oh God, like that ruins my day.
Get off the app as quick as possible. Oh, I do the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get on Twitter and I'm just scrolling, and like 2 minutes later, I'm just like, I'm depressed now. I need to get off this thing.
Yeah, I can't believe some people. Yeah,
they like live.
It makes me sad. That being said, I read the news every day. I try to keep up to date on things. But it can still be. It can be a lot sometimes. Sometimes you just need to take a break.
Yeah, it's weird because like I feel like it's almost our moral responsibility to keep up with the news and current events and what's going on in the world. But at the same time, the more you dive into it, it can be so depressing. Like it can just like, even things that are other side of the world have no impact on you immediately, at least. It can just absolutely bring down your day. And it's like you feel like you need to be in the like in the know with the news, but at the same time, it's such a mental drain. And I feel that a lot as a streamer. I feel like there's so much good that can come out of having social media and making content outside of Twitch through like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. But at the same time, it's almost this double-edged sword where like, sure, you're on Twitter more and TikTok and you're seeing your following grow and you're building your community and meeting new people, but then you just start to feel the mental health drain of it, as time goes on. So it's a weird double-edged sword for sure. Yeah,
definitely. And sometimes it's even seeing the inspirational stories can sometimes be a bit like, oh man,
right?
Like all of these employees banded together to get this other employee health insurance or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, health insurance. That's not a universal thing.
It's not.
Yeah, and so it, again, like you said, it can be a lot sometimes, but I feel that it is a duty to stay up to date with these things, to know what's going on, and to make your voice heard when it is important. But definitely take care of yourselves too. That's a big one. If it's you, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but like, you're the most important person in your story. You're whatever you're doing, you are the main character. So if you need to do what's best for you, then you should have no qualms about doing that. And it's okay, because your story's going to keep going, and it's going to be it's still going to be all right.
I think people forget that like at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. And that can mean sacrificing some things, that can mean adding some things to your life that were not there before. And like when it all boils down to it, you just got to take care of yourself first and foremost. And it's so weird with social media. Like there's been times I've seen where like I'll get on Twitter and some of my friends are just posting just great like inspirational stories, kind of like you said, or like they just hit a new milestone or something like super exciting, and I'm so excited for them, like go them, they rock. But then there's like this tiny little voice in the back of my head of like jealousy or just something negative that's like just that little voice in the back of your head that's always there, just like, hey, why isn't that you? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah,
Why haven't you
what
hit
did you
that?
do today?
What did you do today? Exactly. Like maybe they started streaming after you and they're already so much farther than you. Why? And it's like, it's kind of a mental battle sometimes with myself, always reminding myself that every person's journey, every person's mountain is different. Every person's success or failures or anything are all individual in and of themselves. But it's like, it's funny how our brains work. We can see something so inspiring and we're like, can help drive you forward, but at the same time there can be that little voice that just kind of talks shit to you as well.
Oh yeah. I understand completely. Yeah, it's not something, it's difficult to own up to it and to face it sometimes, but it's a thing. We're constantly looking at others in comparison to what we are doing, what we've got going on, or who we are. It's just natural, and being able to be at peace with that and like what you have and be satisfied with what you have is really significant, but it's not easy. You're definitely going to have thoughts, and yeah, you just kind of have to know for yourself that it's okay, that you're doing all right, and that everybody's starting maybe at a different chapter in a book, but we're all reading the same book, and it's okay. We'll all get to the end.
Right. One way or another. Yeah, one of my favorite Radiohead songs has the lyrics in it where it just says like the best you can is good enough, and I love that song just so much because it's so true. Like I feel like if you wake up every day, give yourself full effort, and at the end of the day you're like, I did the best I can, like not say you did the best you can, but really internalize it, and you're like, did I really do the best I can? If I truly feel like I just did the best, then I'll be happy and content with whatever happens. And I've always tried to remind myself that, like, if you give it 100%, really 100%, and you just feel like you gave it your all, then you got to be happy with whatever the outcome is. And, you know, some people might get farther, some people might get more behind than you, and wherever you stack up, every journey is different, every story is different. But like you said, we're all different characters in this book of life, essentially.
Yeah. It's okay. Everyone's doing what is their journey, and
right.
You don't have to come down on yourself when the journey doesn't look like other journeys.
Speaking as somebody that has already started their streaming journey, here's a really good question. I feel like for those wanting to start at the bottom of the mountain and start streaming, what is a solid piece of advice that you would give newcomers, Decoy?
Ooh, this is... I think I came up with a checklist like this a while ago to think, what is the right way from my experience?
Yeah.
I think there's a few key things. Okay, one, good audio.
Yes.
Just something decent. It doesn't... To a degree, it doesn't matter how bad the camera is, but sound, hearing a decent voice is like good. So if you can shell out a little bit for a decent microphone, that's a great start.
Yes, so true.
The second point, I know, the camera can honestly be so bad, but if you can hear the person, you don't even need a camera. Sometimes it helps. Not 100% necessary, but people connect more with seeing someone's expressions, their face, their responses, their reactions. So camera optional, but sound, that's a good one. For me, I'm not sure if you would find the same. There's two major points. One is finding a game or whatever you're doing that really works for you, that you're going to be happy doing, but is also in terms of games, for example, the games I chose to stream that ended up working for me were ones that had passionate fan bases, and not necessarily the biggest. Don't try and compete with the people at the top. Don't do, the high level Valorant or Minecraft or Call of Duty, because there are people light years ahead, and it's inundated with people streaming those games. Getting discovered is going to be so hard. If you can find a game that you enjoy that has a passionate fan base but is relatively mid to small size, there's a good chance that somebody's going to stop in and want to like chat with you because they love the game, and it's like a personal connection they can make in that moment. The other thing I think is networking, but not networking. It's basically finding a community, finding people that you really enjoy being with. Do not go in and say, I'm going to start streaming. I wish you guys would come check out my stream. Like, here's my link or whatever. Don't do that. No. Please, no. It's more just about genuinely finding people you really enjoy watching and spend time there, get to know people, make genuine friendships, and then kind of test the waters a little bit. You don't even necessarily need to mention it to anyone straight away. Just try streaming a bit, and at some point people are going to be like, oh, you're streaming, or have you ever thought about streaming? Do you stream? And because they're your friends by that point, they really want to get to know you more, hang out more, and that's an avenue to just create a really nice community at the outset, or just to get some viewers who you can really trust. So I think those three things I think are really solid ways of starting out.
I totally agree. I think on the first one, audio, you can get a really good sounding audio microphone, USB mic for $50. Honestly, that can totally transform your stream and just make it sound so much better. The second one, on the idea of streaming a specific type of game, or a game that has like a good community behind it, but that isn't super competitive, like Fortnite or Valorant or something like that, I think that's really smart as well. Because if the game has a million people watching it, like, unless you're an extremely talented player, you're like not even the 1%, you're like the 0.01% of amazing players in it, then maybe like Valorant or Call of Duty or something to really show off your skills. But most of us do not have that skill set, so we essentially kind of gotta just play games that you really, really enjoy. But there's like a middle ground. I've always felt like those games that have like 1,000 viewers to like 5,000 viewers, that's a good kind of chunk of games to look at that you enjoy. And Souls games are usually in there, like Final Fantasy games usually in there, and just games that people.
So that's what worked for me. There could definitely be other routes that I haven't even considered, but that's what worked for me. Those really strong, passionate fan bases for not necessarily the game of the moment.
Right.
Because again, you could be amazing at Valorant. You could be unbelievably good. But if you're just starting out, how on earth are people going to find you?
Right.
You'll be at the way down at the bottom with everyone else on 0 to 1 viewers. And like, unless you have the most insane setup ever, like, it's very unlikely people are going to click on you at the beginning.
I'll even counter on that. Like, you can have the most incredible, insane setup, and it's not going to bring you more viewers. Like, if you have nice lights, an amazing microphone, a great camera quality, that's cool, and like your already current viewers might appreciate it more. But like, I've gone into some streams with people who have 0 viewers, 1 viewer, 2 viewers, and they have, Shure SM7B microphone. They have like a super high quality DSLR camera. Like it looks like they could be super top of the line. They have like a super top of the line stream setup, but maybe they're not communicating. Maybe they're not talking. Maybe they're not, there's so many other aspects aside from like the gear that one has that creates that community that people fall in love with. And a great example I always love to talk about is my awesome friend Dahlia the monkey. She just hit partner.
Dahlia, yeah.
She's
great. Love Dahlia.
Dahlia is amazing. She gets crazy amount of views. She is a absolute kick-ass streamer. She doesn't have super fancy overlays or anything at all. She literally streams straight from her PlayStation 4 literally just straight from the PS4, and she's killing it and hit partner. And she's a testament that you just have to have really good personality, just really want to make friends, just really want to build a community. Like you're streaming for them. Like, I'm here to stream for you. We're all in this together kind of mentality. And she's just a testament that that's 100% what it's all about.
Did you see her? She posted in her Discord her actual stream setup. Like, she took a photo.
I haven't seen it.
It's just a sofa, a coffee table with a laptop on it, and like a lamp, and like that's it. It's so basic.
Right.
It's the most basic ever, but she's done fantastically, and I'm so pleased for her.
She's so inspirational in that mentality, because she is such a testament to people are there for her. They're there to hang out with her community. They're there to watch her kick ass at games. It also helps that she is an absolute A+ video game player. Like, she slays video games.
She's good.
She's so good.
I said that to her the other day. It's like, I was just messing with her. It's like, Dahlia is surprisingly good at games, because a lot of her clips are her boofing it and like, dying terribly. But she is crushed. She is knocking these games out of the park, like one after the other, and hard games too. So, like, kudos to her. She's relentless. She's just quite the gamer.
I completely agree. I've been playing Dark Souls 2 for like a month now, or month and a half, and through that time I think she's already gone through like 2 or 3 games. So she just absolutely slays. Another one, though, that I would love to ask you, what is one thing you absolutely have loved about streaming on Twitch since you began?
That is definitely meeting people, community, like getting to know people. It was wild. Beginning on Twitch, I had such an odd view of Twitch when I began. I just thought it was streamers just doing their thing, and then people kind of complimenting them. And that's where the buck stopped. I never really truly considered that you can connect and make genuine connections with people, like in your chat, or watching a streamer, you being in chat talking to them. And then as I've used Twitch more and more, as I got used to it, I see that there are real connections you can make here. There are fantastic people who, it's amazing, you never would have run into them if it weren't for a platform like this, if it wasn't for this this thing that can bring us all together over mutual loves of stuff. And so meeting people through this, I've made some really cool friendships, met such wonderful people, and discovered some really cool things. And it's all thanks to being able to communicate in such a unique and interesting, in the moment kind of way. So that's definitely number one for me.
Twitch is crazy because there's so much content on it that's not even just video game related, you know, whether it's like art streams or music streams or like craft streams or IRL streams. Like it just feels like a live streaming platform that is, I mean, video games are still probably the majority of it, but it feels like that's kind of being slipped away a little bit, in the sense where now it's just a live streaming platform that people can do whatever they want with. And once you start streaming, you definitely can quickly realize that it's all about community and just building those relationships, hanging out with friends. And yeah, I agree. I think the best thing about streaming on Twitch is the interconnectivity you get between everybody, between communities, meeting other communities, friends meeting other friends, finding common interests in maybe the game you're playing or music streams or whatever they pop in to see you. And it's been a life-changing experience. For myself, so many others true. I've talked to, it's just been, especially during like what happened last year in 2020, people being locked home and having, whether they're still streaming now or they're, you know, they just mostly lurk or hang out or chat or like as a viewer, it's become such a huge social part of people's lives, I feel like.
It's incredible. Yeah, just amazing what it's done for so many people, especially in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, mind-blowing sometimes. It makes me wonder, and I don't mean to be a downer about it, but it makes me wonder what's going to happen. Like when hopefully everything is sorted and we can go back to our normal regular lives where we don't have to be at home as much. Like, what's going to happen then? I like to think it's going to be us all finally being able to meet each other,
right
IRL and stuff, which would be so cool. But yeah, how is Twitch going to evolve? I think there's another step on its way for Twitch.
I think
I'm interested to see.
I think we're even kind of seeing that a little bit now. Like summertime, there's a lot of people have said they've seen a drop in viewership numbers, or seen a drop in like a lot of people popping into their chats as much. So maybe it's because some parts of the world are opening back up. Maybe it's, you know, people going back to their jobs, spending less time on Twitch. Summer's out, so it's, you know, for a lot of people going out into the real world out there. Yeah,
Heaven forbid,
right? Out in the sunlight.
But yeah, but
it's
couldn't be happier for those people though. That's great. You know, fantastic. Absolutely. Live your life.
Live your best life. YOLO.
Live your best life.
Why not?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing. Yeah, being in Asia, being all the way over here, I never thought it would. Growing up, I didn't have people around me who are interested in the same type of things that I was. Very commonly, it just wasn't very big in the UK. So I don't know, being able to find all of those people now, even though I'm half the world away, is crazy to me. I'm nowhere near the western side of the world, of America, the UK, like, but just doing this from where I am, and I'm still connecting with people, it's mind-blowing.
It really is. It really is. The fact that you can just not only make friends with similar interests, but you can make friends from people all around the world, like I said earlier, you know, with different cultures, different languages, different interests, and you can just find something that brings you together. And I have friends in Thailand, in Japan, in Australia, in Brazil, you know, everywhere, all throughout the entire world now. And it's so fascinating to talk to people just about just their everyday life. And it's interesting because so many of us we live in such different places with different cultures and everything, but we all still live very similar lives. Like we mentioned earlier, we're all in this game called life together, this simulation called life.
This matrix that we cannot escape from.
right. Oh, that's a whole another argument if we're like in a simulation or not. Have you ever given that any thought?
Oh, the whole philosophy debate. Yeah. I used to talk about that with a couple of friends. Like, if you really think about it, and then it became so mind expanding. I was like, all right,
let's bring it back.
I need to hug something real quick.
Right. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah,
video games like 40 years ago, I was talking to Q about this yesterday. Like, video games 40 years ago was just little Mario popping up and down on the screen, and now you have games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk that are like so borderline realistic. Like pretty much everything. I feel like modern video games now, really high-end graphical games, have gotten so good at everything except maybe the faces of humans, but literally everything else. You could like photo mode take a screenshot of like anything, and I could be convinced that that's a real life photo. Like, graphics have gotten that good. Faces are still probably the hardest aspect to nail down, because there's something psychological where you can look and be like, I know it's a face, I know it's a human face, but I can still see that it's a video game, you know? Yeah,
that uncanny valley. They're working on it. They're getting
really good,
horrendously close, like scarily close in some cases. But yeah, wasn't there a case a while ago that the news used a piece of game footage and reported it as real because they didn't realize it was a video game?
I didn't hear that. I wouldn't be surprised though.
I forget what game it was, but yeah, it just took some game footage. It's like, look, here are scenes happening right now.
Probably like Microsoft Flight Simulator or something.
Oh, maybe. Forget. It might have been something Metal Gear related, actually, with that particular one I'm thinking of. But it's wild. Oh, also the do you know that game series? The latest stuff they made was the Dark Chronicle, like Man of Medan thing. They did not Dead by Daylight, Until Dawn. You know that team?
I think they're
Well, their face technology is incredible. Like, it's so, because they get real actors and they scan it in. It looks wild. The only thing is it's still, there's something about the mouths, the way they like over enunciate words, but only with the mouth, not with the speech. It's like, all right, we're not quite there yet.
Interesting.
But they're close. They're real close.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching, like when I was a kid, watching like Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Have you ever seen that movie? The Cloud and Sephiroth movie?
I've watched it.
Right.
I had a movie night with my community after I finished 7. I was like, all right, let's watch Advent Children together.
There's so much bad about it, but there is some good about it. But like, I remember watching that as a kid, and I'm like, dude, these graphics look so good. And now video games that you can play in real time in video games look better than that movie. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Which is insane. They actually, back in the day, they had like legitimate supercomputers putting these things together. Yeah. And now it's like, I could do that on a laptop. You know, it's like for some people, it's amazing where technology is going.
I think I read that when Pixar was making Toy Story, every single frame like they'd have to have the computer. I could be wrong on this, but I swear I remember something about Toy Story 1 where every single frame of the movie they would have to like let it export. It would take like an hour or two just to like render in the entirety of the frame. And now we have like such advanced CPUs and GPUs, we can pretty much do that stuff real time, which is just, yeah, it's just a testament to technology and how far it's come. And I mean, that kind of brings me back on the whole simulation thing I was mentioning. Is like, yeah, 40 years ago, Mario was jumping up and down in 2D on a little screen. And now we have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk. And what are graphics going to be like 100 years from now, you know?
Yeah, I know. I remember, this might have just been a lie that somebody told me at some point, and I took it as gospel. When I was young, I heard a rumor. Somebody told me that, after the GameCube, Nintendo are going to stop making video games because graphics can't get any better. And when they told me that, I looked at the water effects in Star Fox Adventures. I was like, I think you're right. I think it can't get better than this.
You know what's so fascinating about
look
that,
how
though?
good this water looks. And now, it's like, what an idiot.
What's so fascinating about that specifically is Nintendo's always been the company who focuses on graphics, but in like such a different way. Like, they're not about
it's all about the style. It's not about how crazy impressive it's going to be. It's like the sort of tone and distinctive edge flashiness that they have that make it really pop, stand out.
And I think that's just, a big reason why people love Nintendo games so much is because they focus so heavily on getting the gameplay and the story down so good. And then the graphics, they try to get them as like an art style, like a type of art style that's not realistic. They're not going for that. Is this the world I'm playing as? These graphics are so real. Like, they're not going for that. They're going for like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild kind of stuff, or they're going for Kirby or Mario. And yeah, kind of like Pixar movies, you know, it's so incredible to watch them, and the graphics are so amazing, but it's a different kind of amazing.
Oh yeah, it's like, it's not real life, but it's incredible. Like just the sort of imagery and animation they're putting together, it's so lifelike, but it's not real lifelike, but it's lifelike. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Is this real life or is this just fantasy? I was actually, while we were talking about that, I was thinking, like, I wonder if we'll ever get some kind of, you know how they have like PlayStation cameras or the Xbox Connect that kind of do like movements and stuff. I wonder if we could ever get to a point where we have like a camera scan you and then create like a character of you in the game, and not like a Wii kind of character, but like an actual looking Decoy Manta you're playing in Red Dead Redemption 2. That would be wild.
I mean, I think different games have experimented with that concept at different points. I could not name them, but I know that there's been things like upload your photo and we'll create your avatar kind of thing.
Right.
But if you see what is happening now with VR, and I think you know of Code Miko, like the stuff that she's doing. Did you see her new model that she was testing?
I haven't.
Insane. Like, it's different from her standard model, it's like even higher. It's crazy just how responsive it is. It's wow. So if that can be applied, if you can just take the full scan, put on the suit, you're in a game, that's not
wild.
unrealistic.
That'd be wild. Like 50 years from now, you're playing Red Dead Redemption 5 and it's literally like your body, your everything, your face, like you're in the game. That would be so weird, but cool, but weird to see. I wonder
what the cutoff point is. Like, are they going to have a reactive suit that like shoots you like when you get shot?
Right.
What's the cutoff point?
We're kind of there already in a sense where you have like character creation models where like beginning of the game, you create your character, you create your avatar and everything. So we're kind of like somewhat there, but like it's going to be fascinating to see just how more personal it gets in the future as technology evolves, as cameras get sharper, as you know, graphics can render at higher resolution, and just the texture. It's going to be fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
And even the other part where people become other people entirely, but it's still where where they don't take on who they are within games. They just create an entirely new person, and if that's taken to the next level, how real can that get?
Like
interesting.
I'm just over here playing Apex Legends with Pokimane, but not the real Pokimane, but a Pokimane. But
it's definitely her.
Right. I promise it's her. Right. Kind of on the whole side of like what you love streaming on Twitch. Conversely, what is one thing you do not enjoy about streaming on Twitch?
That's cool. What do I not enjoy? That's a real tough one. I think one part is Twitch itself has some issues. I think they're always reactionary in a lot of the ways that they deal with things, and they don't really seem to be having users' best interests at heart. A lot of the time it feels like we are a corporate company. We will only respond if somebody dies or like something is really extreme. So a lot of instances you see that just it happens. People are abandoned or left or ignored, or terrible stuff goes on for far too long in some cases. So I think it's kind of unpleasant to look at that or see that happening. But for me personally, that's so tough because it's been a lot of fun. So I would say the one thing I don't enjoy, I guess, is the amount of pressure that I end up putting on myself. And I know that a lot of people do this. Even if it's not livelihood, even more so if it is for somebody's livelihood, I'm sure. But sometimes we fall into this mindset that we have to be stream at a level. We have to perform. We have to not let people down. We have to not let yourself down. We get so in our heads that we lose perspective of maybe why we're doing this in the first place, or that this is ultimately it's fun, or we're doing it because we like it / love it. And coming down so hard on yourself. I feel so many people slip into that, and it can be triggered by so many things. So that's one thing that's a struggle.
It almost feels in a sense that people put pressure on themselves because they don't want to let their friends down or their community down. Not that you're letting anybody down in a sense if you're calling in to streaming for like a mental health day or something comes up, but like I totally feel that myself. If there's ever days where like I call in from streaming, I just always feel terrible throughout the whole day, and everybody's always so supportive, like take your day off, rest well, have a mental health day, it's super important. But then I'm just like, I let everybody down. I'm
so sorry.
Right.
Don't look at me.
Right.
Draw the curtains.
It's so true though. Like we do put, a lot of people do put a lot of pressure on themselves, and I don't know if it's to stay competitive. I don't know if that's quite the word, but it's or just stay on schedule, or just have consistency is maybe the word I was thinking of, like to stay consistent with streaming. So yeah, I definitely think myself and a lot of people can relate to that. This idea that, you know, it's on the schedule that I'm streaming tonight. For better or for worse, we're going to stream tonight. And the problem with that though is like if you're having a mental health day or something came up, it can affect the stream if you don't go into it with like full gung-ho, I'm going to do the best I can. If you go into it with the idea that you have stuff weighing on yourself mentally, I don't know, but some people are different. Some people like use streaming as an escape and they want to escape from that by streaming, and other people bring that to them with streaming. So I guess it's case by case, person by person basis. But yeah, as long as in yourself you're like, yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself, because it can be a weight on your shoulders. That's a good one.
For sure. Yeah, I've had that. Have you had that, out of interest, where you're kind of having a day and you weren't sure, but then a couple of people jump into chat and it's like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? And then the day massively improves. Like, yes, that can definitely happen. Yeah.
Especially like times where I'm like sitting at my computer right before I press the go live button, and I'm just like, oh man, I just don't know if I'm feeling it today. Like I just don't have that oomph in me. And then right when a lot of my regular friends pop in, you know, like Fortune and King and Zach and just so many people, they pop in and I'm like, yo guys, what's up? And then just it's off from
That's
there.
Exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
It's so much hype and just energy, and yeah, like people it's hard to stress just how important it is, or just how much of a connection people pop in every single day. Like every single time I'm streaming and like somebody pops in, I just get so excited. I'm like, I get so excited to talk to these people who I talk to every single day, and like, how's your day going? What's going on? What you got planned today? Are you streaming later? What's new in life? How's work? How's just it's yeah. I've said it before. It almost feels like streaming is such a two-way street, like in the sense like I'm providing entertainment and value for people, but them being here is also helping me, and it's such a two-way relationship, a real genuine honest two-way relationship. And it's I hope everybody that streams can experience that, because it's an incredible feeling.
It's the best part. I hope so too.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. A little bit outside of streaming wise though, outside of content creation, streaming, what are some other hobbies that you do enjoy in your off time?
Oh, well, I love video games. So that's something I'm going to be doing off stream, on stream anyway.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I got a bit of the acting bug in me. I like acting. It's not just voice acting. That's been a lot of fun. But I was doing acting to a degree in my spare time as well, like on camera stuff. And that was kind of, there were a couple of things coming up, like a few short films. It's like, this is going to be a lot of fun. But of course, that's on hold. Apart from that, I love movies. I love reading books. I took a long break from reading books. It's just being an adult. But then lately I started getting back into that, and that's been a really nice thing.
Any good books recently?
So I went through a phase. I read so much fantasy when I was young, just like so much.
Yeah.
And then I started reading more real life stories, like things that actually happened, historical things. But recently I tried to get back into fantasy. So I'm reading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. If you know, I hope I got his name right. It'd be embarrassing. But fantastic author. Oh my days. And he blasts books out. He's like the anti-George R. Martin.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He just gets like 2 books out a year or something. He's unstoppable.
Wow.
Thousands of pages sometimes.
Like Stephen King.
Right, maybe that's an exaggeration.
Stephen King's the same.
He and his books are great. I'm almost done with one, and I've already got some of the others. I cannot wait to get through those as well. Just fantastic writer. Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
Oh, not too much else. Apart from that, I liked hanging out with friends and exercising. That's not really. I haven't been doing that too much.
Yeah,
but we still catch up. We still have our calls and do things.
Yeah. I've always, with reading books specifically, do you ever find yourself listening to audiobooks, or are you more of a like paper kind of like physical reader?
I love paper. I love physical reading, but I have been getting to audiobooks as well lately. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of great books that I listen to. Just really, really great ones. Like Educated by Tara Westover, I think, and Wild Swans. Completely forgotten the author for that, but that was a fascinating book. And yeah, just great, great stuff out there.
I've always felt like with video games are like that perfect middle ground between the in-depthness of a book and the detail of a book and the cinematic experience of a movie. Like a video game is like that perfect marriage of the two of them, where you get to have all that detail, all that richness, all that preciseness, and seeing the world through a character's perspective, while also having that visual feast for your eyes, so to say. So video games are just like such a perfect marriage of the two.
You're so right. Yeah, having an active participation in playing out a story, like being along for the ride or being the one to experience this tale or whatever it is you're doing, that's amazing. That's so cool, and a huge part of why I love video games so much.
I totally agree. Video games are, I'm happy that as we've gotten older, it seems more and more common, and you know, people are viewing video games as art. They're viewing video games in like a positive aspect. No longer are you like the nerdy kid at school because you like video games. Like pretty much the whole school now plays video games. So it's
oh my god, that reminds me of just in the UK, not many people know about when I was in school, at least not many people knew about like anime, that kind of stuff. So I was one of the outliers who I would like occasionally read manga in class, and the only exposure that people back then had to anime was like the not safe for work stuff that was in the banners of websites back then.
Gotcha.
So they just see me reading this manga. It's like, oh, what are you looking at? Oh, is that
like hentai or something? Are you reading hentai in
like,
school?
are you reading porn? It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, I needed to stop reading that at school. Didn't want to get a reputation.
I mean, to each their own, right? We all have our own vices in and of themselves.
Do it in school,
right. No, that's really funny. I mean, like in a sense,
but now, yeah, everybody knows it, respects it. It's great. A little late, but it's fine.
Right. It's even funny when you hear like older generations complaining about younger generations reading or like playing video games and stuff, like as they're on their smartphone playing Candy Crush or Farmville or whatever Facebook video game of the week is for them. And I'm like,
Dad is such a hypocrite for that. Yeah.
or even not like the video games themselves, but like chess or like board games. Like it's something so human in each one of us that we want to play games with each other, and we want to have this slight fun competition and enjoy ourselves. And we've been doing it for thousands of years, you know, playing Go, playing chess and checkers and Monopoly, and now it's in the form of video games, and it's so fascinating. I always say it, but humans are such interesting creatures.
We evolve in the most inefficient way possible, but we're always evolving. Very
true. True. Yeah. So, my friend Decoy, I got two last questions for you. Number one, in your own words, what does streaming mean to you, my friend?
Streaming to me is so much about community. It's so much about meeting people and sharing passions. I love video games and but that has been a gateway on Twitch to meet fantastic people, to find really fascinating things, to broaden my horizons in such a wonderful way at such a difficult time. I think streaming has just done that for me, and in a way I hope I've been able to provide that for other people, and that other people can get the chance to have that same experience.
I love it. 100%. It's just all about community and friendships. I'm sorry if we've said it like 10 gajillion times, but really that's like,
I feel like we really,
but it's so true. Like
drove it home, but it's, yeah.
I mean, people
Come
can
on.
play, like people can play video games in their off time, but we choose to stream it for that social interaction, to be able to have people pop in, to talk to people about their day. And yeah, it's just all about that communication and building community and just building friendships. 1,000,000%. Very last one for you, my friend. Where can all of our viewers and listeners connect with you online?
All right, so as you may have guessed, I am on Twitch. My name is DecoyManta, one word. So you can catch me there. I also have a Discord that I'm pretty active in, and I have a Twitter and an Instagram. The lucky thing about being called DecoyManta is that no one else is using that name, so you can just search for that name and you'll find me on everything, I think. Yeah, come hang out. I'd be happy to have you.
And links for all of DecoyManta's socials are going to be down in the description below, 100%. So definitely go check out Decoy. Drop a follow. You will not want to miss out on DecoyManta. We all need some Decoy in our life, if I'm being honest.
We all need some Zeph just as much, if not more.
Oh, I see what you did there. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to this week's episode of the Zephcast. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help the channel out a lot. And if you want to see more of your favorite content creators, streamers, and podcasters in the near future, don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free to do so, and we'll be having even more exciting content coming up soon. Thank you all again for being here. ZephyrsXP, DecoyManta. I'll catch you all in the next ones, my friends. Much love, everybody.